Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Halfway Line podcast with me, Aaron Gordon, and my co-host,
Leo Watt.
Nearly forgot your name there.
I almost said the wrong one.
In this show, we will be discussing this week on football and stuff that's going on in football.
Yeah.
You may be wondering about the name. Leo is not as educated as me on football, so the Halfway Line kind of is a symbol to our views coming halfway. So we've compromised, and he is now a co-host on the show.
Exactly.
So thank you very much, Leo.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
And if you want to check out his podcast on movies, what's it called?
It's called What Not to Watch. The first episode will be on Citizen Kane.
Oh, nice. Okay, so if you want to go and listen to that, it will be available on Spotify. So, Leo, as you know, Rangers at the moment, going through a bit of a crisis.
Yeah, they're in a sorry state at the moment.
You're a Rangers fan. Just tell me your thoughts on Russell Martin at the moment.
So Russell Martin, it's a really difficult one because you have to give him time, but the time he's had so far has been so diabolical that it's a question of how much time do you give. I don't know. I think the Hibs result was obviously good. It's a bit, hopefully, an insight into some future results. The start of the Champions League qualifier campaign was pretty good, but once that kind of filtered off, I mean, the league was bad.
Yeah.
Bad. So we've got the Europa League soon as well. We typically do quite well in the Europa League, so I'm hopeful for that, and I'm hopeful that we can kind of use this momentum from the Hibs win to get somewhere in the league.
Yeah, they play Genk tomorrow from
Yes.
Belgium. I think could be quite a hard game if the confidence is low. It could be one that could maybe go 2-0 to Genk.
I think it really can go that way, but with Nico Raskin coming back into the squad and really driving us to win against Hibs, I think his goal was a really big opener for us.
Yeah.
I think with him at the centre of the squad, I think we really can take the win.
What do you think of that whole just going back on that? What do you think of that whole Nico Raskin situation?
It is stupid. The rumour I heard was that Russell Martin fell out with him,
Yeah.
and so he just didn't put him in the squad, and it is childish. You can't really have a manager like that. If he can't sort it out between them and then go, okay, you are actually like the best player we have on the squad, we need you in here playing for us as much as possible. If you have a squabble with a player and you just kick them out of the squad, especially if it's someone like Nico Raskin.
It does seem a bit childish.
It
I
is.
mean, Rangers, they're 10th in the league or 11th,
Yeah.
which is diabolical by their standard.
Exactly.
Even for second, you've seen managers get sacked.
I know.
Like, just even still challenging Celtic for the title. And now you've got Rangers sitting at the foot of the table with Aberdeen, who haven't won a game. We'll get onto that in a second. But the fact is, Rangers should be up there with Celtic, but they're just not.
I know.
Russell Martin, the protests that's in the stadium were crazy.
I know. I mean, you saw the Hibs game. The stadium was near enough empty,
Oh, yeah.
and they were chucking things on the pitches in protest. They had the little signs of, is it Phil they wanted out, and Russell Martin's face with lines through them saying,
Yep.
we want them out. And I understand the frustrations. I think a lot of Rangers fans definitely take it too far, and some of them don't really give enough of a chance, but you kind of have to understand where they're coming from at this point with Martin, at least.
Yeah, definitely. Well, last night there was, what was it? There was 2 Premiership games and 2 Championship games. I was actually at one of the Championship games. I'm a St Johnstone fan myself. We played Airdrie. I'm just going to go a bit on that, just comment on the game. So, so we went 1-0 up. It was a good game. First half, we played really well, ran them off the park. Second half, we kind of fell off, and it was some of the play we were doing is dire, and I just feel like maybe we brought 2 of our best players off too soon. We were making 2-0 subs. We were making 4-0 subs when we were 2-0 up,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Which is what I saw someone said that on Twitter, and it was actually really accurate because we took
Yeah.
Big Pick and going off. But the other game was Dunfermline v Ayr. Ayr came out 1-0 winners with an early goal,
Yeah.
which is a good result for them. Scott Burn against Neil Lennon, obviously, former captain and manager for Celtic.
Yeah.
So Yeah, and then the two Premiership games, Falkirk came back to draw 2-2 with Hibs, which I think is a great result for them.
Absolutely is.
I think they're
Absolutely
doing
is.
very well. And you've also got
Dundee
um,
United, Aberdeen.
Dundee United Aberdeen, which we will. I think Jimmy Talina is going to get a lot of stick for that game.
Yeah, it's a
I
difficult result for Aberdeen.
Oh yeah, they haven't even scored a goal this season in the league, which is terrible. They're sitting bottom, behind Rangers. Um, I just don't know. I feel like, what are your? Do you kind of like know about the Aberdeen kind of stuff that's happened in the last few
I
weeks? Because they've obviously just won the Scottish Cup under
Yeah.
Taline.
So I don't know too much. Obviously, don't follow them too closely. But I know the last few seasons were much better for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think was it 2023 season they were kind of fighting Rangers a lot.
Oh yeah.
For second.
Yeah. Well, it was last season. They'd won, what was it, like 10 games unbeaten. They won every game, and they were up at the top of the league with Celtic,
Yeah.
which is crazy. And there was a game where they beat Rangers 2-1,
Yeah,
which
they
was
had
just.
a great run that season, but they kind of fell off towards the end.
Oh yeah, they ended up not even getting. They ended up finishing like fifth or sixth, and
Yeah.
they were. If they hadn't won the Scottish Cup, they wouldn't have got European football, which
Yeah,
is
no.
crazy.
But the Scottish Cup for them was a great result, to be quite honest.
Definitely, it was a great game to watch as well. Great backing from them as well. You know what I mean? They've
Yeah.
sold out their end. Obviously, the whole end was red, which looked brilliant.
Mhm.
But I think we should go more into world football topics. Obviously, the Ballon d'Or.
The Ballon d'Or, yeah. Dembele.
Dembele wins it. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of stick online for it. A lot of people were saying Rafinha should have won, or at least should have been higher on the list.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that because I think Rafinha's been unreal. Every game I've watched him, especially that Barcelona Inter game in the semi final,
Yeah.
I thought he was brilliant.
He has been fantastic. I'm not sure if maybe a lot of the buzz for Lamine Yamal kind of had him filtered down a bit.
I think we should talk about Lamine Yamal quickly because I feel like in the past few weeks he's been getting a bit of stick because he missed a game. I mean, there's a lot of rumours circulating about it, so I don't know what's true and what's not. But it was an injury to his groin, but the rumours were he was out partying with a girl. So, I mean, if you have that much talent, I
There's,
feel it. Well, look at what was his name, Ansu Fati. He was meant to be the next big thing. Now where is he? I don't even know.
I don't think it's going to be like that for Lamine Yamal because he's got such a kind of air around him that in the last year or two he's kind of really been put on this pedestal. I think especially being at Barcelona's done that because he's a great young talent, but he's at such a prestigious club that are fighting for Champions Leagues, and they won the league last season. So I think, and he was obviously a major part of that. I mean, he's unreal. I don't think that even this season, I don't think he's going to win the Ballon d'Or or anything like that. I think it'll take a little bit of time still to get him there because he is so young, and I think he can develop further.
Even finishing second at 18 years old, you're like the second best player in the world at
Yeah.
18, which is crazy. Like, it's unreal.
Yeah,
Like, who? I don't think anyone's. I think surely that's the youngest ever, second place.
I would imagine so because I mean you can't
I
think
don't
of
think.
anyone
I don't
else.
think can I think of anyone else because Messi didn't really get into it until he was like maybe early 20s,
Yeah,
and maybe 19 he would have been up there. But genuinely, Lamine Yamal, what a player!
I mean he is unreal.
Yeah.
It's undeniable. But I guess it is a question of is it getting to his head a bit if he's going out partying and
I think so.
stuff instead of going
That's
to
my
games.
view on it. I think he's getting too big for his boots, and I feel like that's going to be his problem.
Yeah,
Because if you look at players like Mbappe, look at him in the World Cup 2018. What was he, 18?
something like that. I think.
18 years old. And that was where like he kind of took off in his career. And look at him ever since then. He's been working hard. He's been improving, and now he's at Real Madrid.
Yeah, and I mean he was at PSG for a long time.
What's that? He was at PSG for about, what, like 7 or 8 years?
Yeah, and he really rode that horse until it was quite dead.
Definitely.
Because, I mean, you had Neymar there and Messi there, and
And he was starting as a striker with Neymar and Messi around him, which is just
yeah,
insane.
I mean that's a crazy front three to have, but I don't think it ended up because I mean Messi was getting older, and Neymar was he was always quite injury prone. It didn't end up working as well as they probably would have liked.
Yeah.
But I think when they kind of, I'm not sure what season it was, but when Mbappe goes, he went as a a free transfer. Right, it was at the end of his contract, so Real Madrid picked him up for.
I was gonna
nothing.
say I don't know what he's on weekly, because that'll be like that'll almost be a transfer fee in itself.
It will. It will
Because
be
genuinely, he must be on what, maybe like 500,000 a week or something. It'll be something stupid.
outrageous.
Do you know what? I'm actually gonna search it up because like I'm actually curious at that. Kylian Mbappe weekly wage, because it must be something stupid.
It will be crazy, but I mean, think of all the people you've got in Real Madrid right now. I mean, what's Jude Bellingham on? You know,
I don't know, but Mbappe is on approximately 600,000 euros a week.
jeez.
Like a million, 1.2 million in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like it's stupid. You know what I mean?
That's outrageous.
But riding away from that, Scott McTominay
Yeah.
finishing very high in the Ballon d'Or
What was
for
it, 18th?
18th. He finished above Haaland, all these players. But do you think it was deserved he'd be that high, or do you think he should be higher?
You know, I do think it's deserved. I don't know if it's bias from me. Obviously, we're Scottish, so we're going to want him to do well, and it kind of puts Scottish football on the map a bit more. Just because, you know, Scotland has been. I mean, the national team's not been very good for quite a long time. Now we've got a really genuinely good squad. I saw a breakdown video the other day. They're saying it was against, what was it, Liechtenstein in Greece or something. It was the Greece result that we lost.
Was that the 3-0 game?
Yeah, and it was kind of breaking down how that happened, but how this Scotland team can absolutely qualify for the World Cup and how it can absolutely compete to be up there. They're not going to win the World Cup. They're absolutely not going to win the World Cup. But the fact that there's actual conversation about how, I mean, where Scotland's going to place, how well they're going to do. It's not, they're not going to qualify again. It's where are they going to go is really impressive. And I think Scott McTominay is really the biggest part of that.
Definitely. I mean, in a sense of, I didn't think he'd get that high. I thought he'd maybe finish like mid-20s, late-20s. But 18th is incredible.
There was a lot of buzz when he was announced as one of the potential Ballon candidates, and everyone was like, you know, freaking out about that. And then to get 18th as well on that is amazing.
It's brilliant. I mean, just even for Scotland in general, because when was the last time we had a good run in for the Ballon? Would be probably Kenny Dalglish.
Yeah.
Something like that. Or even Ali McCoist.
Yeah.
I think Ali McCoist was up there for the Ballon d'Or.
Was, but no, Scott McTominay, a great player. He's really shone brightly at Napoli. I think Napoli's looking quite good with their squad now. I mean, getting De Bruyne as well.
Oh yeah,
really good.
I'm gonna ask you to comment away from Napoli. It's sort of like to do with Napoli. What about all these players have left Manchester United and ended up thriving?
Oh yeah.
Because look at Hoyland's just scored for Napoli.
Yep.
Which is brilliant. McTominay is arguably the king of Naples at the moment.
I think that's not even arguable.
The king of Naples. There's like, people love him there. But even the other players like Anthony at Real Betis last season.
Yeah, he did unbelievably well.
Honestly, it was every time I was scrolling through Twitter, I'd always see Anthony scored again.
Yeah. It
was just incredible. I'm just trying to think of any other players. That
Sancho
like,
at
Sancho, exactly. All these players. But do you think the problem lies within the board at Man United or the managers?
I'm really not sure. I think it's a lot to do with the managers not being able to really get the best out of the players, and maybe the players not being able to adapt to the system as well, or the manager system as well. And I think the pressure to be at not Real Madrid, at Man United is so immense. It is a big club, and they've done so many kind of incredible things that if you go there as a young player, there's a lot of pressure, and a lot of people won't be able to cope with that.
Do you think the fact, I've always thought about this, do you think the fact that Alex Ferguson's at most games, do you think that put pressure on the United players? Because I'm going to say this right now, he's the greatest manager of all time.
You know, I'm not sure that is the pressure that's causing the players to crumble, because he's not a manager anymore. You know, he's there just as a fan, as a supporter. He's going to have some comments, and he's obviously going to have some critiques.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And his voice still matters when he does speak on issues, but I don't think that should be a problem for players. I think maybe players, like young players like that, they go straight to United from wherever, and they're 19, maybe younger. They don't succeed as they're hyped up to succeed, and then that really dampens them, and then they go to Real Betis or they go to Napoli, and it's not quite as much pressure, and maybe the circumstances at the club are a bit better. You know, they get along with the manager more. They understand the system better. They're just grown now, and they've had to do this system that was really hard, and they've come to a system that maybe is a bit more simple to them, and it just clicks better. I think that really is as simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like even the man. I think it's more down to the managers of the pressure. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Every manager that's come to United has had a good like past.
yeah,
They've what was it? Ten Hag took Ajax to the Champions League semi-final. Amorim was doing great with Sporting. I think he won the league with them at his age, just like as a young manager.
yeah.
And who was the manager before? Was it who was it? It was that Ralph Ranier.
Was it?
I think I can't really remember what he did, to be honest. Like I don't think I literally couldn't remember him. But that's my point. Like I feel like managers who go to Man United have this incredible pressure on them because it's such a
Yeah.
big club and they've done so badly over the last 10 years. Just in general.
Yeah, I think they're expecting such a result so quickly, and I think now they might be switching that because they're really backing Amarim, and I think it's quite similar with the situation with Russell Martin, is that they don't want to just go sack a manager straight away because they've not had a great result at the start. They want to just back them. Like Klopp had a good few years before winning anything properly, and then he won the league in COVID season, and he came second last season, or not last season, season before. Obviously, I think Liverpool winning the season last season was really great for them. I'm not sure if that's all the manager, because the players were largely the same. I feel like the squad didn't change too much.
Yeah. I mean, who did Arne Slot's made some great signings this season. Florian Wirtz,
Absolutely has.
Florian Wirtz, Jeremy Frimpong, all these Bayer Leverkusen players that won the league in 2024. I mean, they had an incredible team, you know what I mean?
That was an unreal team, and honestly, I think Xavi Alonso getting the Real Madrid job
Yeah, I think
really well deserved.
See, if I was him, I would take it.
I wouldn't have. I would have maybe stayed.
I would have tried to build up Bayer Leverkusen to
Yeah.
be almost better than Real Madrid.
Yeah, because I mean, the team he had really could have been.
Exactly. I think a lot of those players left because Xavi Alonso left.
Yeah,
Because I think Wirtz stayed last season. He could have gone last season, but he stayed, and Xavi Alonso was still the coach.
yeah,
And then Xabi Alonso obviously joined Real Madrid. But I think in general, like, the Premier League at the moment, like, I'm just going to come away from all that and just think about the Premier League. I think at the moment, the teams that are coming up for the Championship don't have enough money to compete with the teams that are already up at the Premier League.
I think that's the same for a lot of the leagues below the top flights.
But I think it's specifically emphasised in the Premier League.
Absolutely.
Because I don't think I think in the last couple of years, I don't think there's been any team that's been promoted that stayed up.
But think about just how much money the top. I mean, United, City, they're spending billions.
Yeah, it's mental how much they're spending. But like, even when those teams go back down to they're too good for the Championship.
Yeah,
So they come straight back
There's
up.
just no middle point.
I was
It's
about to say.
Sunderland coming up.
Oh yeah,
I don't think they're going to be able to compete.
I know. I agree. I feel like they're not going to be able to keep a beat with Newcastle. I don't think they'll win the derby. I might be wrong. I might get proved wrong. They might cause an upset.
I mean, I guess there's every chance. I mean, it happens all the time in football, but I think Newcastle have been in the Prem for like such a long time consistently that it's just a different playing field.
But Newcastle, they're going through some stuff right now with Isak leaving.
Yeah.
That was quite
What a
something.
situation that was.
I know. I mean, I just feel like Isak, he could have been a bit more. I mean, obviously there might be stuff we don't know about
Yeah.
because that's what he has said. He said there's stuff that we like, the fans don't know about behind the scenes, and
Yeah.
I feel like maybe we shouldn't judge it because it could be something bad.
It could be something bad,
But if it's what they're telling us, if it's just something like, oh yeah, if it might be something to do with money, then I feel like Isak's been really ungrateful. The way those fans
Think so.
treated him like a god, it was crazy.
I know, and he did so well for Newcastle. I mean, he's an
Definitely.
incredible player, really.
Definitely. I just feel like maybe if they could have sorted that out, Newcastle, I don't think they'll get Champions League this season.
I don't think so.
I don't
really
think they've got a
so.
team good enough. I think Vissa's good, but I don't think he's up to par with I don't think their attack's very good, to be honest.
No.
I think they've got a good overall team, But I just don't. I think that little blemish of the team is just going to need to be improved.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah. So, is there anything you want to talk about today?
I did see a Sky Sports news article there about a potential return to Spurs for Harry Kane.
Oh, do tell.
So it's something to do with the release clause in his contract, and Thomas Frank says there's a every chance that Kane could return to Spurs. I don't think he will.
No.
If he has any say in it, I don't think he'd want to go back. Maybe when he's retiring or something, he'd want to go back to his club, because I think Spurs really is his club. I mean, he was kind of holding it on his shoulders for so long before he left. But I mean, he's finally won something at Bayern, and Bayern is a better place to be, in my opinion.
I mean, I'm going to say something controversial. I think Harry Kane. I might be wrong here. I don't think he's that good a player. I think he's a good play. He's a good player in terms of a finisher. I just don't think that he is like up to standard of where people think he is.
I would agree. I don't know as much, obviously, but I always felt like people held him up higher. And if he really was such an incredible striker, I feel like he'd be able to have produced more wins with Spurs.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
how many teams has he had around him
Oh yeah.
that have been feeding him opportunities, and he's been scoring goals, sure, but how isn't he winning?
Oh yeah.
I don't think that's entirely on him. I don't think it's entirely on the manager or the team. I just think something wasn't clicking, and I don't think he is really as good as said.
Yeah. I mean, even for England, I think it's the same because I don't think that the people hold him in such a high regard for England. I think as well,
Yeah.
but I don't think he's good. I don't think he's up to speed because look at the national team; they're all quite young, so I don't think he'll get many more England call-ups.
No, I think he's obviously good to have there because he's
Yeah.
reliable enough. But I think he should kind of make way for a younger striker who's going to be able to compete more and fight the younger squads more. I think it just makes sense.
Definitely. Well, that is all we have got time for today. Thank you, Leo.
No problem.
That was the first episode of the Halfway Line. Thank you for listening, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.